Fast forward, income or Chinese social, so I'm saying, Huxley, age politics avenue. Podcast or a trend and because making headlines. Jamre, now ADB Epsom or Didim Roximus, and ADD can stress with subscribe to the channel. His notification banner, so share now a from so answer into me. Can be an idiom. Mami Emfa Inra a political heavy sitting, JDM, Unia, any Assam Kotuakra. Now, Ningna, and say, are you also East? By election a course on na OXP. Meno ka say what me about room na allegedly o check say vote buying bi itimi e course na anso ha osan abawura NPP mayekunu primaries a course na nsen Dr. Bawumia enso edi nkunim no secretary bi epie ma onua meno ka say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama etimi instruct me say onye nhwehwemu na wa intasa no babo ne de ene emra no na obede obegina na at this point in time mintimi hu say Mohammed Baaba Jamal says this one passes and intasa no bon say vote buying e course no ye no kra aban ye beto no foforo ana sempo no ye betwena so na yasan amana afa eye ntumi no asan ekura se candidate ema eye NDC amayiko no ewo ayewaso is constituency. Well, dim before attract ameno ka say eye director of IT of elections ema eye NDC ajemre abra o probe into these allegations. Age politics already.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor says it has begun investigations into alleged vote buying and vote selling during the recently held New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress primaries. The NPP in January held at presidential primary, while the NDC early February held at parliamentary primary at the Ayawasi East constituency to find a successor to late Member of Parliament Nasser Toure. Now, let's get the statement from the OSP, and as I'll quickly do that end will be displayed on your screen for you. So as you can see, it reads that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has commenced investigation in respect of the New Patriotic Party presidential primaries conducted on 31st January 2026. On 7th February 2026, the OSP commenced real-time investigation in respect of the National Democratic Congress parliamentary primaries at the Ayawasi East constituency. The investigation, according to ASP, focused on allegations of vote buying, vote selling, and the sources of funding of the alleged corrupt act. During the conduct of the NDC parliamentary primaries at the Ayawasi East constituency on 7th February 2026, one of the candidates, Mohammed Baaba Jamal, allegedly abetted attacks to physically attack an officer of the OSP who was serving an investigative directive on him in relation to vote buying and vote selling. Consequently, the OSP has opened further investigation into the assault of an authorized officer of the OSP in the performance of S function in relation to Mohammed Baaba Jamal Ahmed. The OSP reminds the public that the law prohibits corrupt acts in relation to public elections. It is a serious offense to engage in vote buying, vote selling, intimidation, threat of violence, and acts of violence in relation to the elections. But this particular public notice is coming from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and I understand there is also one coming from government. And now, let me go on. Now, before that, let's just take the statement from the National Democratic Congress, which is also being displayed on your screens. And it also reads, following the earlier announcement by the party to set up a committee to investigate the reported widespread inducement and vote buying during the Ayawasi East parliamentary primaries held on Saturday, 7 February 2026. The National Democratic Congress has constituted a three-member committee to undertake the investigation. The committee will be chaired by Mr. Kofi Totobi-Kwachi with Honorable Mahama Yarga and lawyer MF Afuga serving as members. The committee is also expected to submit its report on Tuesday, 10th February 2026. In line with the party's commitment to internal democracy, transparency, and ethical political conduct, the committee will investigate the allegations and make appropriate recommendations, including sanctions where necessary. The committee's mandate will also include making recommendations on sustainable measures and reforms to decisively end the practice of inducement and vote buying in the party's internal electoral processes. And this was being signed by the General Secretary, that is Fifi Kweti of the National Democratic Congress. Now let's go on the lines and also speak to an anti-corruption expert, Michael Bwedi. Michael, if you can hear me, what do you make of all of this? Can you please unmute for us?
Yeah, very well. Thank you very much, Joy, and good afternoon to your viewers. I want to first congratulate the NDC as a political party who are taking a proactive step to deal with acts of vote buying, which in our laws amounts to corruption. It is quite refreshing, and it is also encouraging that the Office of the Special Prosecutor, in spite of previous challenges he's had in investigating and prosecuting successfully vote buying, he is still persisting. I think I want to encourage and acknowledge the two institutions and pray that all Ghanaians will support them. So this is my initial comment. Let me say that Ghana Integrity Initiative is now called Transparency International Ghana. Ghana Integrity Initiative is an old name. We are now Transparency International Ghana. Thank you.
Now, what do you make of the OSP being involved in all of this?
It is well within his mandate. OSP's mandate is to fight corruption and corruption-related offenses. If you look at the Criminal Offences Act, it clearly makes vote buying a corrupt act. And other pieces of legislation. We have the Political Parties Act, we have the Representative of People's Act. They all makes vote buying a corrupt practice, a corrupt act. And once it is considered a corrupt act, it is well within the remit of the special prosecutor to take action. And we applaud him for rising quickly to act on it. Previously, the challenge he had is evidence gathering and how solid the evidence is. My little knowledge of what they are doing now shows that they are now using professionals to gather evidence. They are not solely relying on the social media evidence, but now gathering evidence themselves. So we are praying that this time the courts will also pipe down the technicalities a little bit and support the fight, because the beauty of what the NDC had done is that they have shown that vote buying is, they don't support it as a political party. Therefore, if you are prosecuting one of their own, they will not come against you. We are praying and hoping that the NPP will also follow suit and also denounce all acts of vote buying that happened during the presidential primary, so that collective as Ghanaians, we are saying that, look, it is wrong, we don't support it. If you look at the cost of election, vote buying and treating amounts to a huge chunk of the budget of candidates. Three things happen. One, it is discouraging people with knowledge that would want to genuinely serve their country but do not have resources from getting into election. It is also serving as a barrier for women to also get into election, particularly women that are not well resourced. And then persons with various living with various disabilities are completely played out of the game. So if we want everybody to be involved in the affairs of this country, we must collectively denounce vote buying. You see, on the side of the media, it is not enough taking pictures, generating content, speaking against it, but let us support the gathering of evidence, solid evidence, and then pass it on to the investigative bodies. I am advocating that going forward, the police that month's election, that helps in control, enforcing law and order, must be given body counts so that they would collect first-hand information. The candidates and the unruly party activists, or I'm not saying all party activists, but I'm saying those who would want to misbehave, who cannot do so when the police are the ones that are gathering the evidence or are collecting, are filming the vote buying and other things. Two, I'm saying that let all the political parties swiftly, denounce vote buying when they find one, and let them support the investigative bodies to indeed punish people. It is also refreshing that the new Chief Justice is setting up courts that will deal with corruption and corruption-related offenses. I am praying that when this gets to that court, we will not play up technicalities and throw the case out, but we will set examples of people, perpetrators, so that we can stop this. It is getting out of hand, and the earlier we stop it, the better it would be. Persons within the NPP and NDC had spoken against it. They had talked about the fact that if we want to end corruption in this country or control corruption in this country, we must deal with political party financing. A huge chunk of political party financing goes into vote buying, goes into activities of this thing, of vote buying. If we control it, we believe that we can deal with transparency in election buying, and we can also reduce corruption considerably in the public office. Thank you.
Michael, you would have to hold on for me. We also have Ǎrrěsť Tanko. He's the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress. Ǎrrěsť, if you can hear me, your party have released a communique out there which was being signed by your General Secretary. What is your reaction to the OSP's, release also?
Well, let me say good afternoon to you and your cherished viewers across the globe. As a party, the NDC abhor all manner of activities that will mar the beauty of its internal election and even general elections. It has been an issue that the party stood.
Right. So now let's. Michael, are you on? Are you on? Well, so we were earlier speaking to anti-corruption.
Will support any move that will make sure that we sanitize our electoral system, and then hence the statement issued by our General Secretary. And I can assure you, the party will wait for the outcome of the investigation being led by the Venerable Honorable Tutubi Kwachi. We will wait for the outcome of their investigation, wait for their report, which will be presented to FEC on the 10th of this month. Of course, the people involved in the investigation are seasoned politicians. The majority leader, the lawyer Fuga, these are seasoned politicians who have enough experience in terms of politicking in Ghana from the 80s up to now. And so let's give them all the necessary support to come out with their report concerning this issue. And then they will take it from there, because as a party, our president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, did promise that under his watch, he will make sure that he sanitizes our political system in terms of violence in elections will be things of the past, and he has lived with it. Since he came into office, we've not recorded any violence whatsoever in all the political activities that we have conducted, being by-election, rerun, and internal election. Even our opponents conducted their election recently. It went peacefully. Nobody raised a finger against each other. And also, if the OSP want to go into that matter, I mean, why not? It's fall within their ambit. But we, as a party, we have taken it upon ourselves. And I'm happy the anti-corruption campaigner indicated and applauded the NDC that our opponents should also take you. Because DS was glaring, it was so bad. The 31st elections that they held, it was so bad. But we are yet to hear anything from them, the party itself, coming out to condemn what really happened. But the NDC, we will not shy away from it. That is why we yesterday condemned it. And today, we made good with our promise by issuing this statement and to allow these our venerable senior members in the party to investigate and present its report to the Functional Executive Committee for implementation.
Rashid, one may say in all of this vote buying allegation and all of that, does it affect the processes yesterday in any way?
Well, the processes concluded successfully. Don't forget, at the center of voting, where we did the voting and all that, these issues never came up. In fact, we were at the center, where there, it didn't rear its ugly head over there. These things happened outside the voting centers. It didn't happen there. So the process went through until when we started hearing it on social media and traditional media and all that. But at the voting center, actually, we didn't experience matters of that nature. It went on smoothly. The police were there. We have to congratulate the Ghana Police Service. They did very well. I mean, everything went on successfully. So we're able to conclude the process effectively. But we have to wait for the report of the three-man committee to find out the next line of action the party will take.
Now, in the line of all of this, now the question is, there's a bigger election ahead. How is the party preparing? What's the way for it? Preparing for the main election within the Ayawasi East constituency?
Well, the party is well prepared. I mean, we are well positioned to retain the seat, considering the performance of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for the 1 year plus that we've been in office. Unprecedented performance for a first time, an opposition being in government in just 1 year. We've never chalked this kind of successes before. We've been in opposition before, we've been in government before, and then so we know we can make comparison. And everybody is feeling it. They are living testimonies to our performance. And our year also is not an exclusion to this. In fact, they are living testimonies in the constituency, seeing that we have reduced prices of foodstuffs drastically. You go to the constituency, fuel pumps, you can get there and buy it 9.9 per liter, unprecedented. You go, if you have dollars, you want to change it into cedis. Now the cedi has strengthened itself against the foreign currency, around 10.8. All these things, performances are there, and they are living testimonies in the constituency. And so we are going to ride on that performance of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and campaign vigorously in the constituency. And to retain the seat, I can assure you, we are going in vigorously, and our opponent will hand them some heavy defeat. Over that one day, we are not going to leave any stone unturned to giving them heavy defeat in the constituency.
Grateful to have you, Rashid Tanko Computer, and he happens to be the Deputy Director of Elections and IT at the National Democratic Congress. Now, let me come to you, Michael Wedi. Michael, your last words before you leave us.
Well, my last words is that to tell the NDC that, well, the right thing must not only be seen to be done, but must actually be done. If they carry out the investigation and they find any culprit, they should turn that individual over to the law enforcement agency. Support prosecution, secure so that conviction will be secured, or punishment would be, or sanction would be secured. You see, to whom many is given, many is expected of them. Ghanaians are giving the NDC overwhelming mandates. They must know that every slip in the management of that mandate will cost them. So they should show that they deserve the mandate Ghanaians gave it to them. And it also includes resetting the integrity of our election. Thank you.
I'm grateful to have you, Michael Buedi. Michael happens to be an anti-corruption expert. Now, let's do a recap of the NDC's Ayawaso East parliamentary primary from my colleague, Stephen Mensah.
The election day for the NDC's parliamentary primaries in Ayawaso East opened with intense campaigning and jubilation among delegates aligned to the various aspirants.
18 years, so I'm running, man. So no mess is like, oh my youth, no. Oh, Jai, Baaba Jamal. And don't see, Sanyamia, Domnas, Aquania, Baaba Dawa, and so Dobia, Yobia, Try, man.
The candidates themselves not left out.
You can see 37% are undecided. So today, after 4 o'clock, we will see the undecided. They will make a decision, and if it goes our way, alhamdulillah.
Voting began at about 9 a.m. with heavy police presence in and around the voting center.
We blocked the main road, so obviously we need to check that cars are not coming in. Where should the alternative routes that have been given so that they go there. So
midway through the process, one of the aspirants, Dr. Azindo, accused a rival contender, Baaba Jamal, of vote buying.
If you were in this constituency, you have heard that last night it wasn't easy. I mean, people were cutting deals, people were moving here and there, and I think that in a way will eat into my win. But obviously, at the end of the day, what matters is a win.
When questioned over the allegations, this was Baaba Jamal's response.
So if you give television set to people, what is wrong with it when you gift things to people? Is this the first time I'm gifting things to people? Those of you who know me know that every Christmas, every occasion, every instant, I have put down 2.5 million to give free loans to people.
Then came the time for the counting of the votes. Tension and uneasiness set in among the aspirants. At the end of the exercise, Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria, Baaba Jamal Mohammed Ahmed, emerged victorious, polling 431 votes to become the NDC's parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso East.
I therefore declare Baaba Jamal Ahmed as the parliamentary candidate.
Ǎrrěsť commitment for the party, for the community remains unchanged.
The outcome marks a historic moment in Ghana's political history, as it is the first time the wife of a late member of parliament has lost an election while contesting to succeed her late husband.
From Ayawaso East, I am Stephen Mensah for Joy News.
Now, away from election-related matters, government says it is working.
We ain't some of the Timikoso or channel so Minawasi. That's a yebesai above.